Welcome to the podcast, She Has a Voice. Today we are joined by Neema, a woman of color from Congo who as a child wanted to study engineering, but she couldn't make it due to the social pressure. After studying medicine, she finally made her dream come true, and now she's a woman in tech and entrepreneur in artificial intelligence. We will talk about ethics in AI, how AI is revolutionizing the healthcare sector, and her journey from Congo to Europe. I hope you like it. Neema, thanks a lot for joining the podcast. I'm very excited for doing this podcast with you. I know I will learn a lot, but the first thing I wanted to learn is how to pronounce your name and surname.
Yeah, my name is Neema Balolebwami Nelly. Balolebwami means look at the kingdom. My grandfather used to be a king, so my grandfather came from this hierarchy of the kingdom. So that's why my name is Look at the Kingdom.
Wow, amazing. Neema, you just said I have been here for 7 years, but before landing to Barcelona, you have been in a lot of other European countries. So how has been moving? You come from Congo, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
right?
I've got from
Why
Congo,
did you
yeah.
decide to move, and how has been the experience of moving from home to Europe and then coming to Barcelona?
You know, my journey has been so long. I've been born in Congo, DRC, in Bukavu. It's the eastern part, beautiful place, nice lake, and it's so green. And I was studying. When I finished my secondary school, I want to be an engineer. I always dreamed to be an engineer, but I couldn't with my society pressure. So we had only one faculty in the other city in my country with a polytechnic department, but I couldn't enter because of the pressure, to be honest. But I was good enough in mathematics and physics, so I could enter because my grade was really, really amazing. But I couldn't do the pressure because it's just like women could not be an engineer. Even when you are hearing these kind of things as well, you feel deceived. I'm coming from a huge family of 12. I'm number 11. So somehow even you have your brother. You have 9 brothers and 2 sisters. So, listening to all these 9 brothers is not that much easy. It's not, and you have an uncle, you have I don't know, friend. It's like a huge thing, a huge deal, to be honest. So, and at some point I couldn't do my polytechnic studies and I went to do medicine. So while studying medicine, I liked it as well. And when I was in the 3rd year, I passed the exam, but the professor didn't want to give me my grade because of an injustice, sorry, and because I was a woman. So I went through that, trying to convince the professor giving me back my grade or showing the exam, but he couldn't. It was so tough. And in Congo we have the Belgium system because they've been colonized by Belgium. So it's like if you don't pass the main course, you have to restart it from scratch again. It's not like you pass and start doing additional courses. No, we start from scratch. And medicine, it's so hard. Like we have this type of system of memorizing books. So I saw myself staying in the 3rd year, which is the hardest one, and then memorizing a book of more than 200 pages. I couldn't. So I was like, I didn't fail because I didn't study. I didn't fail because, you know what I mean? But it's an injustice. I felt like a zeal into my heart. And I was like, no, today is the end of this. So what I've done was, first I took my friend, 2 or 3 of my friends. I was like, can you help me? Because I want to help other women actually to come out of this evil thing that we are facing into the academic area, because we have a lot. So I used to hear a lot of women complaining, but I didn't have this experience by myself. When I had it, I felt how it's hot. So I first mobilized my friends, my colleagues. Then I went to mobilize all institutions in my region that time in South Kivu, not only in Bukavu, which is a region. So to do a manifestation, a 3-day manifestation. I remember it was in March. We have done manifestation 28, 29, and the 1st of April, doing manifestation. And then because it was huge group and I was a leader there, I didn't know what I was doing. I just had the zeal, and I know if I don't stand up, this will stay. And or if someone else doesn't do it, I mean, how about the generation that is coming? People so will suffer for that. So we have done this manifestation for 3 days, and it caught the attention of the media. So we had our national TV that came, the radio, they were interviewing me. I don't know what I was talking about because I didn't have any knowledge. I wasn't even preparing that. I was just doing by emotion, and I wanted to change at that time. So, and then, and then when the news went or arrived on the national TV, so they were asking, what is going on in the eastern part of Congo? What is going on in Bukavu? And I was in front there speaking. I was like, no, stop in the States, in the academic sector area. Sorry, I'm used to sectors. I don't know, just talking. So, and then good things and story short, I investigate and find out where we're studying, and they could find a lot of cases. The positive thing that I like from that is like they created a law to protect women at university and the academic area. That wasn't before. Wow. Yeah, so I felt proud of me. First, taking risks because it's a huge risk, believe me. And then after creating this law, for sure, they fired all the faculty at the university where I was studying that time. So this was what my wishes, and I wasn't planning for that. For me, I was manifesting because we needed changes, but I didn't even know what type of changes that we needed. I had only a zeal. You know, sometimes you have a need, a zeal, you want to do something, we need changes. So, I mean, the good things like the law change, until now, I've never had any issue related to grade injustice. So this is the kind of thing I'm glad for. For me, I felt more affected, and this is how I decided to leave my country to go to study in a British university. It wasn't easy to convince my daddy that I was supposed to leave. You know, I'm coming, as I said, the family of 12. We are 3 ladies. I'm number 11. So my sister is really super big. So it wasn't easy to convince my dad that he could let me go to explore a new life or to go to study. It was like, you are a woman. It's like he was so scared. He couldn't let me go in. And I thought that if we manage really to motivate people to create a law to protect women in the academic area, I can do it as well. I can go to study in a new country, protecting myself, study, and you'll really be proud of me. And at the end, my dad let me go. But it was a process, to be honest. So I went to British University, my career dream, like being a medical professional or being a polytechnical things. And I went to do art and development studies, which is like ADE, Administración de Empresas. So I was studying only by formality because I wanted just to study. And I know my dad was so strict, even if he didn't want me to go, but he was so strict with study and he wanted a diploma. So, so I was like, I just want to study because I need to study and have any consideration in society. So this is how I went to do this diploma studies. And then after 1 year, I went back my country. But by studying this, I got like, I went in the mood for management, you know, I catch it, but it wasn't my passion, to be honest. And then after going back to my country for 1 year working, and then I felt like I need more studies. And this is how I plan to do my first master and coming to study in Europe. So my master was a 2 years program of studying in 4 countries. The first semester in Italy, second semester in France, the third semester in Spain, in Leon. No, the third semester in Germany, and the first one in Spain, Leon. And then decided to move to Barcelona for a PhD. And while I had this condition, I have an academic master. This how I submitted myself to study another master. This how I came in Barcelona. And after this, doing boot camp in data science, boot camp for Stack. And now I'm like, what's the next boot camp? Because, you know, we are into this field where technology is rising. It's like rapidly evolving. So you need to be updated every time. Upskilling, reskilling.
Congrats for overcoming all of these challenges. I wanted to start the interview making, maybe a not political correct question. And I wanted to ask you, is it challenging being a woman of color in technology?
Women, as women in general, first, before being a Black woman, we work twice than men. And when you are a woman with a special characteristic, by this implies women of color, we women with a specific gender orientation, we work the double for double. So being a woman of color is like you work a double for double compared to everyone. And you have really to do a lot. I mean, that's why you see me everywhere, working on my office, having my team, but doing networking all around Europe now, not only Barcelona. So like being a woman of color, it's a challenge. And the opportunities as well, believe me. You know, because when I found myself in the entire Mobile World Congress, I mean, people identify me quickly because we have a huge visibility, and people are usually curious to really to know about what I'm doing. And in this curiosity, I usually generate synergy and I have clients in this curiosity, because when you're like, oh, you are Black doing tech, I really want to know what you're doing, you know, in this conversation of curiosity, many people are truly interested to work with me. So we have also the other side of opportunities. And being a Black woman as well, we usually have a lot of doors that are open to us than native people. I mean, when you're living in a country which is not yours. I have a lot of doors that are open to me, and some people asking, how have you done this? I've done a year talking to that person, but he never replied to me. But how have you done it? You know, it's another opportunity that I cannot explain or express. And then we have both challenges and opportunities at the same time.
Yeah, you have taken a lot of challenges, and one of them was founding your own company. How did it come, Neema, that you said, I will found my company?
You know, I came in Barcelona in 2017 after living in Germany, where I was studying my first master degree. And I came to Barcelona to study a second master degree because I wanted to do a PhD. And the condition that time was to have an academic master. My master of Germany was more professional oriented, more close to an MBA. So I came to University of Barcelona to study a second master degree. And then after this master, I was in the transitioning period, waiting for my admission to a PhD, waiting for the supervisor, writing my thesis proposal. And I remember I was walking into the university, and I found a publication, like a flyer that the university was hosting an entrepreneurship training. Then after I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go there by curiosity, just to know what is this, you know, just I had a lot of entrepreneurship in my courses, my classes, so I want to go there. So I took this training of 6 months at University of Barcelona. And, you know, during this training, we have different phases: ideation, validation, launching the idea. I mean, I didn't have any specific idea, and then went that I want to do a consultancy in digital transformation. And during the validation phases, where we're supposed to go into the market, asking people about the willingness to purchase our services or our product, I got my first client, and I was like, Ostra, wait, what is going on here? So, and from that, I launched the company. First, I began with a consultancy in digital transformation. And while doing this consultancy, I realized that the company was struggling to integrate new technology into the daily basis activity, daily basis work. And this is how in 2020, during the pandemic, I transitioned into building an adventure builder. But if you remember that time, I didn't have any programming skill. So I took a boot camp of data science, starting by learning first Python, which is the easiest language that I recommend to everybody. And then after last year again, I took a second boot camp as a full stack developer, because I want to understand how to develop a mobile app while integrating AI inside. So I took a front end part and the back end part. I mean, I've never planned being an entrepreneur in my life. Never. I saw myself working into a healthcare industry. You know, I loved my dream company that time was like B Brown, you know, Allianz. I always see myself doing that.
In a big company.
Being an entrepreneur, never. It was by mistake or by curiosity. And I'm really proud to succeed. And I mean, it has been 4 years that I'm into that. I'm really so proud of me. But I've never, ever, ever seen myself as an entrepreneur. Never.
Actually, one thing that you do is making tough questions, or questions that trigger a new way of thinking, right? Especially on the ethics, on the AI. And I wanted to ask you, what are these type of questions that you make to people to trigger a new way of thinking?
Technology that were built before was most of them are discriminatory because they're discriminating people based on gender, demographic location, or even different populations. Because currently, for example, you can see some face recognition system that cannot recognize people with this type blue eyes instead of people with black eyes and skin tone and whatever. And one of the things that I usually ask people is that, is your technology fair enough? By this I mean, is it biased or not? Is it transparent? There is a huge issue into the traceability of the entire process of how an artificial intelligence has been built. By this I mean knowing where the data has been taken from, how it has been manipulated, which model has been used to train this data, by who, and for what as well. And with this challenge that we have with the traceability of the entire process, it's increasing a lot of biases into the AI system that you're having. And technology is advancing so fast that we need changes. One of the questions I ask again is about the privacy, because AI is about using people data. Do you protect enough data of people that you're using to build your AI?
Definitely
Is it
not.
secure enough? And is your artificial intelligence built to help human, for the human value? Because currently we have a dilemma: AI will replace human labor or not, but not for sure, because these are tools that we need to use to increase our capability to optimize operation, but will never ever replace human labor, because we still need this creativity of human. We still need this empathy. And the last thing that I ask as well is, it's AI for the benefits, because we need to be responsible enough. It has been a while I developed a technology for a company, but somehow realized they were not using it. And by myself, I felt like this wasn't responsible. I mean, we build, spend time, you spend your money, for sure it's good, but somehow we need to use it in a responsible way. By this I mean, for me, I request this company to be accountable enough, helping employees to transition into the adoption of this technology, because I realized they were like fearing using this technology, and then if you chosen the right model to train this data set, that can help actually to avoid biases into the AI. If you use different geopolitical location to test your AI, because this actually help to
Wow.
receive feedback from different users, and it can help to really increase the performance of AI, because it will be used by different people, different background, different interests of usage, and this will make your AI more unbiased as possible, I would say. So the question is like, is your data set unbiased as possible? Is it transparent enough? The traceability, it's so important. Is it secure protection? And is it built for the human value? And how about the responsibility of your AI? Is it responsible?
And Neema, I know some examples, like I think it was in the MIT when the face recognition, there was a black woman testing it, and she realized that so that the device could not recognize her face, but whether she was putting a white mask, a very simple one, then it was working. Do you have any other examples that you say, like, okay, being a woman of color, I really see that there's a huge bias, because I guess that most of the people that has been involved in the design and development of these tools are white people.
So there are two sides of, I would say, challenges or mistakes. Why? The first one's like the person who's building the AI doesn't integrate a data set which is representative. And the other side is a part of people can be black or coming from underrepresented countries, even in Asia. They're really facing the same issues like us. Why? The problem with the other side is like, those people, they might not have access to internet to put the data on the web so that it can be fetched by scientists who really need this data to build the AI. I wouldn't say that the mistake usually come to developers, because I'm a developer myself, and sometimes I don't find the representation of data, and I'm like, can I take a picture of myself or not? Oh no, this is false, because we need different shape, eye color, smile, and things like that, you know. So there are two challenges: the part of developer scientists not having access to black people's black colors data, and the other challenge of people coming from the underrepresented country who don't have access to internet. I mean, it's real there, and putting the data on the web to be fetched.
And taking this in mind, Neema, who are your customers and how do you help them? I read very, cool use cases like the Crohn's disease, I think that you have been working on, but tell me, who are your
So, you know,
customers?
I don't have a specific sector, because I only need data and your challenge. What's your challenge? What do you need? Do you need to automate your task? Do you need prediction so that you will know how you'll perform in the next 2 years? So we can build an AI platform that will help you into prediction for marketing, prediction of podcast, prediction of your sales. Do you need a solution to detect disease? For example, in the case of Crohn's disease, my company is a venture builder. A venture builder means a startup studio or startup factory. So what we do, we ideate, develop an idea, and then launch it to the market. So by my side, we have two business models. The fact is like building our own solution, launch them in the market, and the other part, building a solution or any AI solution software, I would say, for other companies. But mostly I don't have to launch it the market. I only build that as a technology provider. So I have these two business models. So from the first business model, where we build our own solution, was the challenge of a Crohn's disease, which one of disease that's affect the gastrointestinal part. It is really so hard for medical professional to diagnose this disease, because it has two types: the Crohn itself and ulcerative colitis, and the symptoms are really similar. We have a huge cases of someone who was being diagnosed as having a Crohn disease, and after 5 years, the doctor said, no, it was ulcerative colitis. You have to restart again your treatment. So these are the challenge that people are facing into Crohn. So the software that we built was to help detect in 1 minute if it's Crohn disease type 1 or ulcerative colitis type 2. So we integrate a digital biomarkers that's really helping into the screen that this is Crohn disease and this is ulcerative colitis. And we integrate this solution to the CT scan of the hospital. So while the medical professional is scanning directly, the CT scan is sending the result to the screen. And in a minute, the doctor or medical professional would know this is Crohn and this is ulcerative colitis. And I'm glad, because we started with accuracy of 84%, and now we are mostly like 95%, which is really, really nice. And we are moving forward to have 99% of accuracy.
In which hospitals are they using your solution?
So we are testing at Hospital de Bellvitge. It is located in Barcelona at Hospitalet del Llobregat.
I also heard, I think it was a project done with UPC, so la Polytechnical University of Catalonia, that they were doing something similar with the malaria. So they were saying that the test of the malaria, so taking blood test, it's so the test device, it's very expensive. Whether they implement some algorithm that you take a picture of the sample blood and then it tells you if you have malaria or not. And
that's so cool. Research is advancing a lot in technology, and this is so cool with AI as well, because it's actually helping to start resolving this rare disease or this complication that we have in healthcare. And I feel like it's going to have a huge impact in the near future. The healthcare will be more digitalized, and I mean, a lot will be more with precision than what we used to have in the traditional era.
What are the trends for AI? What can we expect? So now AI is everywhere. So I think we are using AI more than what we think. But what do you think that will come in the next, I don't know, like 2 years?
So generative AI will stay there and will explode a lot. And I believe as well that healthcare would be one of the sector that AI will be widespread, because we still have a lot of things to be changed, a lot of opportunities as well to be done and to be resolved, to be created, to be innovated as well. So the next coming explosion of AI will be in healthcare, because we have seen a lot in mobility, in, I don't know, in marketing,
Yes.
but we are not feeling this boom yet into healthcare.
I've been thinking a lot about it because I know, for example, the Spanish health system, right? That people are waiting months and months. And I'm sure that other countries are feeling the same pain, right? Waiting months to go to the doctor only
Yeah.
for a visit. So, you know, how faster everything could go. For sure, at the end, we will always need doctors, right? But I'm sure that a lot of people could get basic treatment or a basic diagnosis.
Yeah, this is so funny. I just remember I was sick in 2021. I had some allergy. So I went to to the 𝐂𝐫𝐴𝐧𝐠𝐸, to the Spanish
Yeah.
healthcare system here. And so they wrote that I was supposed to do analysis. And then actually I got the appointment after 3 months. I was healed already. I was okay. But the good thing with the Spanish system is that they really care about you. I mean, you will see the follow-up of medical doctor that I didn't see before. I mean, I lived in different countries, more than 5 in Europe. I mean, in my country, with my country should be 6 or 7, but I've never seen how medical doctor here, especially when you have your private one, really care about you. They have this constant follow up, especially when a sick, receiving call from a doctor. I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, this can only be in Spain, to be honest. So these are really good things. I mean, the waiting time is long, but there are good things as well, like follow up. I like this follow up. I like to be follow up. I like someone to ask me how I'm doing, if I'm okay,
For
if I
sure.
want to go to another checkup, yeah, I mean, the healthcare system is good, but you really need this waiting time.
We have been talking about the trends, but something that, and I think that you also phrase it right in the first questions, or the questions that you make to trigger the others thinking. I wanted to ask you about, is AI secure when we have like third parties involved? For example, I don't know, like cloud-based.
Actually, what I would say, you really be careful when you're choosing this third party. You really have to know who they are. Yeah, but mostly the majority of cloud-based platform that we have, they are secure enough because they have encryption, they have the key security access, and this is so good. But it's a shared responsibility between us as a user and those cloud platform, because you really need to do a repetitive monitoring, knowing the type of data or things that are stored or not. And you need to give a permission on that. But I'm glad being in Europe, because we have this regulation. And then it's even into the cloud base that's allowed to store this type of data or not. So, I mean, it's a shared responsibility for us really to really monitor, check every time, looking, giving an eye, what is stored there or not, because it's about our data, it's about us, it's about our sensitivity, our vulnerability as well.
But then, Nima, why do you think that companies are afraid of using AI, or what you see, for example, when you work right with your customer? Why do you think that there's this fear with AI?
First company, they have this sensitive data that they don't want to share. And this is a secret for the company, and this is good. So they have this, it's challenging for them, and they usually understand to only give the data for any AI machine to start building something from that. It's like, I mean, taking something that you will keep as precious and give it to someone to start manipulating it. So this is one of the fear. The data can be stolen, can be manipulated, or making the company
Anything?
vulnerable. The other thing is, like, sometimes they ask, like, even if we were giving you our data, will this AI work? Or if it will make a good decision? And how about if it makes a bad decision? How can we do? How can we know? And what will happen? They have this fear of uncertainty of AI decision making. The other side would be the cost effective. Building AI, it requires some amount of resources. and some company might not be able or might not have enough resources to allocate to build a technology. And so this is another challenge, like expenses. And the other one could be the job replacement, as we talked before. They might have this fear of knowing, is it a substitute of our employees? Or even employees as well, when they know the new technology is coming, gonna be, oh, maybe I'm gonna be fired tomorrow, you know what I mean? Yeah, and this is false, you know. When you, as I said, when we bring all these technologies, just to increase your capability, to help you into optimizing your work, so then you can focus on this creative part, you know, that the company will need you, like this doing repetitive task every day, every morning, every hour. So there's a fear of giving the secret data. The other one, if the uncertainty of AI, if it will work, if it will really make a decision, and the cost. And the other part will be the substitute job replacement.
And you being entrepreneur, what have you learned from building your own company in AI, and what do you think is the biggest challenge you have faced?
Oh, I learned a
Long list.
lot. It's been a long journey, actually, from 2019 to 2024. The first thing I've learned is like, and it's a mistake that I've done before. I used to have a lot of heart, doing a lot alone. So I didn't know this power of delegation, you know, delegate to people. Even if I had a team, I didn't really know how to manage, how to delegate. And the other side, the mistake I've done, like having a no diverse team, you know, with different backgrounds. So I took people who had some similarity like me, who had energy like me. And this is a mistake. I need someone who with less energy so that we can have the balance, you know what I mean? Than everyone being there, like, you know what I mean? So I learned about delegating. I learned about asking for help. Oh my gosh, I usually ask. No matter which level I have, I usually ask. And if I ask the good things here in Barcelona or Catalonia, I would say, when you're asking something to someone, if the person doesn't have a response to that, he or she usually have someone who he know that will help you. And this is so good. I like this connection side, you know. I'm an extrovert person, but I like my corner. But being an entrepreneur, it said, oh no, lady, you want to come out, you want to go on stage, you want to start the public speaking. Yeah, I mean, it taught me to really leave my comfort zone, even if I'm an extrovert, energetic, but it like speaking in public in front of 8,000 people, 2,000 people, 100, even 50 or 20, it's challenging. It used to be challenging for me, but I learned, and I mean, and for me, it has become like something, I wouldn't say easy, but something I'm used to. But at the beginning, it was so hard. I fight with myself a lot. It's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do on stage there? What am I going to talk about? Yeah. Until I remember, you want to talk about the ethics of AI because we need changes. So, and this is what happened to me. So I learned about delegating, asking, and leaving my comfort zone and go out, shout out. And never be ashamed to ask.
I will make maybe a not correct question, but I wanted to ask you about the imposter syndrome, because I think that most of us feel it at some point of time, right? Did you ever had this voice saying, they are asking me because I'm a woman of color, and it's kind of like exotic, don't get me wrong. So I know that you're very good at what you are, but
a lot. So I faced a lot of challenges. I had some people asking me, what are you doing in this field? It's so complicated for you. Why are you not doing something like a marketing? Because you look so smiley. So marketing is a good fit for you, because here in technology, it's so hard. Even for me, it's so hard. I can imagine how you do that. And I had someone who telling me, please, I mean, he wrote me on LinkedIn. I'm still having this LinkedIn message. And he was like, please, can you send your client to our company, because we have good technology to provide to them, the new. But these are like kind of a microaggression that we usually face, So in 2021, I went into depression of more than 3 to 4 months. until I went to a therapist. I'm coming from a culture where we don't go on therapy. It's impossible. We don't even have therapists in my country because it's like, what is this? And then for my first time, I was like, oh no, I want to go because my case is so serious and it's affecting my productivity. It's affecting my well-being, even people around me, because something that affects a lot and externalize itself to my body. And I was like, no, I need a therapist. And I went there actually to work, to be honest. Yeah. The challenge I face is only as a being a woman, but I've never seen like facing a challenge of being a woman of color. But in contrast, I face opportunities of being a woman of color. Yeah, this is true. I mean, I have opportunities of being a woman of color compared to native women over here. Somehow, I would say. Yeah, because somehow companies or any tech community might need diversity. The first person they will call is Neema. So actually, this is why I created even a group of Black women leaders to lean in, to help women of color into the professional journey, especially women who are having a dream. They want to build their own company, or women who are seeking to have any executive position. So our group, our circle into helping them into this process of navigating, reaching out their goal.
What are the differences that you have seen in terms of culture coming from Congo to Europe? I know that Europe, I mean, you have been in different countries, as you were saying, France, Italy, Spain, but what do you think you would say this is the thing?
So the reason I stayed in Barcelona first, it wasn't because I created a company by curiosity or by accident. No, because I would move with the company somewhere in Estonia or go to Germany back or go to France. I'm a French speaker or go in Belgium. So when I arrived here first, in my country we have ethnies, we have different cultures as well. So we have the common culture, common custom, but we have differences in between, and we have different ethnies. So my ethnic is really close to Catalan ethnic, Catalan culture. But mine is ethnic, but it's close to Catalan culture. But I'm coming from an ethnic where people are so conservative, more than Catalan. So when I came here, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like home. So because I'm coming from this environment of conservative people, when I went in France, for sure I'm extrovert, but sometimes I felt a little bit hard for me to be adapted. I was asking, why are you doing that? But why are you approaching me a lot? A lot of things like that. It's really super close to my ethnic. It's a she. I mean, I know people usually criticizing about she because she's the name of the ethnic. A capital city usually criticize she and like, you're so conservative, but it's good. I mean, we're used to that and we like it. And I mean, the other thing similarity I've seen, Catalan are more detail oriented, and it's the same as my she as well. And family oriented as well. I mean, it's the same for me. It's like when I came here, I was like, oh my gosh, just like a she in a white culture, you know what I mean? I had culture shock as well moving from one country to another. For example, I'm coming from a place where people greet each other in the street, knowing each other, not but you just say hi, how are you? You know. So when I came to study, I now remember one of my classmates came and asked me the straightforward question about the class. I felt so shocked. I looked to her. I was like, in me, inside me, I was like, why you didn't say hi? Because I'm coming from a culture where when you come meet someone, it's like, hi, hello, Neema, how are you doing? How was your night? How was your breakfast? What did you take for breakfast? So you spend like 2 or 3 minutes small talk, and then I have to ask, which class are we having now, or have you done homework? So when the person asked me straightforward, I felt so shocked, and I will never forget it. I didn't sleep that night, and I was like, "What type of culture do we have here?" She didn't sleep with me. She didn't see me on the street, but she came straight away and asking me about the class things. I was so shocked, and then until I've been used to. So for me, this was the culture shock. So,
So
and then
interesting.
the other similarity, maybe I would say, living in Barcelona here, the weather, it's sunny. Uh, Congo is more tropical. So, I mean, being here, even if even in winter, it's a bit like, can still feeling like it's hot. It's not really super cold. And for me, it's similarity. And the fact that I'm close to the nature. I like mountain. I'm more mountain person. So for me, it's still okay. Yeah, I mean, I really feel like I'm really connected. Yeah.
Would you ever consider moving back to Congo?
Hi. So maybe in the near future, I'm planning to do some project about that, about STEM. I'm thinking about that. I know I've been disconnected with Congo for a while, for more than 10 years. After moving, I have other interests, my personal interests, building my career, building
For sure.
my way. And so now I'm thinking about helping women into tech there, because there is still a lot to be done. I know my country is not yet digitalized. We're still having these issues of even school having computers. I know sometimes I say I'm grateful to grow up in a family or be born in a family where I had access to a computer since my young age. So, but other people don't have access to that. Going to school, we have classes of informatica, computer, no? Informatica, no?
Yeah.
But we didn't have computer to practice, but we have class of informatica, of computer science, not computer science, this is more
Yeah,
advanced.
but kind of like
Informatica,
technology, right?
technology class, informatica, I would say, but we didn't have a computer. This is tough. I mean, so by my side, as I had a computer home, I mean, it's good to practice, but other people don't have this access. So we used to learn informatica, computer, through learning, through books. It's okay, manual, but you need some practices as well. So I don't believe that things change in these 10 years. For sure, you have new private school, you have public school, but we need a lot of changes into the informatica side. We have a lot of talent, but that needs really to have a space to explore themselves out. And one of our projects would be really to have people in Congo and Africa as well, not only in Congo but in South Africa, because I lived somehow in Uganda, in Kenya, and I could see some similarity, even if they are more advanced than Congo. But we can see some similarity. We're still having a lot of taboo, a lot of things. I believe I would be an engineer back then if the society could allow me to study polytechnic that time without challenging me. But I mean, we're still living a lot of taboo that we will need to work on and to remove. Yeah.
Neema, I made you a lot of questions, so maybe we can go for the final round of questions.
Awesome.
What did you like to do when you were a child, and probably you stopped doing it as an adult?
I used to sing in classical music a lot, but I think I stopped by moving from one country to another. But I remember in Germany, I went to the choir of my university, University of Kassel, and it was so cool. I felt so good. I felt like, I felt like this memory came back to me.
If you could take and bring something to the future, what would you take?
My age.
Oh, first answer like this one.
Yeah, I like to age compared to others. I'm into the 30s, and I'm like, I cannot wait to be 40s or 50s. I don't know why. Because I learned that when you age, it's a wisdom. When you age, it's like you know a lot. And I believe when I'll be 40, I will be matured enough than my 30s now. But because I'm more mature
Absolutely.
compared to my 20s. Aging in one of the factors that I'm looking forward and that I'll bring in the future always.
A goal or a challenge in which you are working on?
Currently, we are building a software to detect biases to other existing AI. By this, it will be only that a user can upload the software inside, and directly our platform could tell you it's biased into the data set, or if it's biased because of the prompt, the model that you use to build your AI, or because your testing model. Yeah.
Best of luck. Looking forward to
Thank you.
to see the result. A woman who inspires you.
Michael Bachelet. She used to be the president of Chile. She used to inspire me when I was young. In my sphere, in my city, I would say, I didn't have a lot of role model compared to how I was picturing myself. So, I mean, since I was young, I knew that one day I would leave this country because I was like, my dream is so big, really, to feel the space, And then I went on the internet looking for a woman who's changing the world. And Michael Bachelet, she's a woman, came out. That time she was the Secretary of United States. I remember taking the picture of Michael Bachelet, um, printing them from Google that time from Wikipedia, and putting them in my room. So every time I had pressure, every time I felt like I cannot, I only used to look at Michael Bachelet's picture, and I could talk to myself that time. Hey, Neema, I know you can because she's done it. She's into UN as a secretary, so you can do more than her, or you can reach your dream as well. You inspired me. You inspired that little Neema from Bukavu looking at your picture every night and every day to know that she could do that. And for sure, she has done it, and even more than what she was expecting. Yeah.
Last question. What advice would you give to the Neema when she was having 6, 7 years old as a child?
Yeah, that never stop to chase your dream, and chasing a dream is an adventure. And believe in you, and believe that all those people that you meet everywhere, it can be in the podcast, networking. Yeah, I'm a networker now. Everywhere, they're helping you to grow, and they're shaping you so that in the future you'll be an incredible woman. And never stop to learn, never stop to upskill yourself, and never be ashamed to ask.
Neema, it has been a pleasure.
Thank you so much,
Thanks a
Ellie.
lot.